You are listening to Hillary Topper on Air, the small business podcast to help you grow both personally and professionally. And now, here's your host, Hillary Topper.
In today's rapidly changing insurance landscape, evolving market trends are shaping the needs of homeowners and multifamily property owners. I'm Hillary Topper, and welcome to Hillary Topper on Air. Today, we have a very special guest. His name is Brian Friedman, and he's a founder of Evolution Insurance Services. Brian, welcome to the show. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and also how Evolution Insurance Services started?
Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm very happy to be here. A little bit about me. I've been in the insurance business for over 21 years. I graduated from Hofstra with a degree in banking and finance. And I kind of fell into the business, right out of college. I was hired by a family friend who owned a medium-sized brokerage. And I wound up working for him on a trial basis, and I just kind of took to the business. And I pretty much stayed with him for 18 years. And then COVID hit, and they wound up selling the firm. And then in 2021, me and one of my best friends decided to branch out on our own because we didn't like the direction that private equity was going, and we opened up Evolution, and we're been live for almost 3 years. And me and my partner's a little older than me. He's got 30 plus years experience, and I have 20 plus years. So we have a combined of 50 years experience in the business. And Evolution was born in June of 2021.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell our listeners a little bit about Evolution Insurance Services. What exactly do you do?
So Evolution Insurance Services is a full service insurance brokerage advisory firm. So we're not just a broker. We actually are designated insurance advisors. We have our designation. During COVID, my partner and I did a lot of studying and reflecting, when the world was kind of closed down, and we decided to further our education online by taking a series of, tests at the Prometric Center and monitor tests at home to get our designations. So we're not order takers, we're advice givers. We create custom insurance portfolios for our clients. We're not just looking for pieces of the pie, we're looking for the whole pie. We're looking to do, if you have a home, an auto, an umbrella, we package everything together and we make sure that there's no holes in the coverage. If you have buildings that you own, commercial buildings, if you have a business that's perhaps doing importing and exporting, if you're looking for New York State workers' compensation or disability, we pretty much run the gamut with respect to commercial and personal insurance. We're licensed in 30 states. So, it's definitely tough to keep up, but if we're not licensed in a certain state, it's pretty easy to get a license if we need to. But we try to keep all of our licenses current because we do have clients across the country.
All right, so let's take a step forward for a moment. With the insurance market constantly evolving, what are some of the trends you're seeing, in particular in products tailored to homeowners and multifamily properties, and also commercial properties as well?
Right. 2023 has been the hardest market that I've seen in 20 years in the business. Everybody was crying poverty. Carriers were taking rate. Carriers were non-renewing. People were getting hit with just an exorbitant increase. Even people that had no claims. Insurance companies were all blaming the reinsurance companies. So what happens is when an insurance company is looking to provide coverage, they're not taking on the whole risk, right? So if you have $1 million house and you're with an insurance company like Chubb, for example, Chubb's not insuring the whole $1 million, right? They're going to maybe take on the first 300,000, and they're going to sell the rest to a reinsurance company. So if there's a loss, they're not going to get stuck on the whole $1 million, right? So they'll be stuck on the first 300,000, and then the next 700,000 will be a reinsurance company. Reinsurers were the ones that really were taking a hit. So they are basically increasing the rates that they're charging Chubb for the reinsurance. In turn, Chubb is going ahead and increasing the rates that they're charging to their clients. And that's happening with all different carriers across the board. Another big reason for these increases are weather, the natural disasters, storms that happened every 100 years, the 1 in a 100-year storm. I mean, I'm looking outside now, it's happening, 2 to 3 times per year. Excessive rains, California wildfires, earthquakes, mudslides, just, 12 inches of snow. I mean, just 20 degrees one day, 50 degrees the next. For brokers, it's absolutely a hard conversation to have with clients, letting them know their premiums are going up 20, 30, 40, 50%, especially when they've done nothing wrong. We take no pleasure in doing this at all, having these conversations. People are taking higher deductibles. People are lowering coverages. Anything that they can do to keep these premiums reasonable. Right now, insurance is all about major catastrophic events. You're not going to put in the small claims for, $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. Those days are gone. You're going to put in the big ones, and only the big ones.
So why is that? Why can't you do the small ones? I mean, what's going to happen?
It's just giving the carriers reasons to either A, increase your rates big time, or B, non-renew you. Nobody wants to write, more so with Long Island. Long Island is an island, right? And insurance companies finally woke up and realized that. So, you can put in one claim for $1,200, and you might get hit with $1,000 surcharge for 3 years. So the one claim you put in, less your deductible, you're now paying for it for 3 years. It just doesn't make sense from a mathematical perspective. So what people would do is they would take a $5,000 deductible to avoid themselves from or avoid themselves from wanting to put in small claims. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way that it is. I mean, a lot of my clients are doing that now. While we kind of weather the storm, and we'll see how 2024 plays out. It's supposed to get a little softer, so we'll see. There's no possible way to tell. It's speculation, but weather patterns will really be the number one dictator of everything. So.
Wow. Okay. So can you give us some examples of some of the types of products that Evolution Insurance Services is developing to meet the needs of consumers and commercial clients?
Yeah, I mean, every so often new carriers come out with new products and programs. For example, I'll use Long Beach, right? Coastal, right? Everybody wants to run away from coastal properties, right? So there's a few carriers out there that came up with a coastal program that says, okay, we're going to take the cream of the crop coastal buildings. We're going to charge less than anybody else. And we're going to create a special program around it. This happens across the board, group umbrellas. If you work for a big firm, you can get an umbrella policy at a very heavily discounted price with no underwriting. Companies come up with programs all the time. Some of them win, some of them lose. There was about 15 umbrella programs that were around for, habitation for condo co-op buildings, apartment buildings. The umbrella programs out of the 15 got killed. There's 2 left. There's literally 2 companies left that have these programs. I don't know how they're able to stay afloat, to be honest. It's above my pay grade, but I'm going to keep using them until they decide to fold. So yeah, I mean, look, it's tough market.
So tell me, how do you stay on top of these different programs? There's so much, right?
Google. No, honestly, I have friends that own small businesses, small insurance businesses like me. And we all talk to each other. I'll know about something that my friend Greg wouldn't, and Greg would know something that I wouldn't, and Tammy and Michelle. Like, I have friends that own different businesses, and they might know or be more familiar with certain programs. So we always try to bounce ideas off of each other. Um, and again, Google is a godsend. I mean, you can literally learn insurance by typing in what you want to know. So you know, you type it in, and insurance for coastal. Okay, this pops up. What is this? This pops up. I mean, there's more to it than that, obviously, but you have to find the right home. And just because there are programs doesn't mean that every risk that may be eligible is going to qualify. There's underwriting parameters. So finding the program is the first step.
Okay, thank you. And also, I think that one of your attributes, I mean, I've known you for a long time, you do my insurance, is customer service. Can
Right.
you talk about the value of customer service in your industry and in your business?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Evolution family has always prided themselves on client relations. So we're very, we talk to our clients. We're on the forefront of things. If there's a problem, we're going to go into it head first. We're not going to run away. We're going to be there. We're going to be proactive. We're always accessible. Um, we don't just, like, I don't want to say that the wrong way, but we don't just hit it and quit it. Like, we're there to help our clients. We have a very hands-on approach. We give advice, we make recommendations, and we don't just take orders. You can come to me with an order, and I can come back to you and I can say, hey, I don't agree. And then if you don't want to take my directive then I'll confirm it to you in an email. As discussed, we don't want to buy flood insurance. As discussed, I advised this and you said no. Like, I have to cover myself, but we're very hands-on, as opposed to, calling like a Geico or an Allstate. You're going to get somebody on the phone from an 800 number, or, at Allstate, they'll answer the phone from 9 to 5. You won't get them after hours. That's kind of the service that we provide. I'm not saying we're available 24/7, but we are going to be available for the most part,
Pretty
um,
quickly. Yeah.
pretty quickly. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we do the best we can. We monitor our clients' accounts too. Like, we get renewal lists, and if there's major increases, we'll let our clients know ahead of time. This is what's going on. These are things that we can help do to mitigate the increase. 99% of people understand the market that we're in, and they understand that increases are inevitable. And the people that don't, it's unfortunate, but I have no qualms telling them, I think that you would best be better served by a Geico or Allstate or State Farm. So feel free to call them on your own volition. And it's happened. And, it was one or two accounts like that, but, I don't sell price. I sell coverage, and I sell evaluated service.
Mhm.
That's what me and my partner and the Evolution family do.
Thank you. Before we move on, I want to say that I'm so appreciative of our sponsors and must take the time out to thank them. Please support our sponsors and tell them that you heard about them on Hillary Taparani. Special thanks to the Russo Law Group, Long Island Signature Estate Planning, Elder Law, and Special Needs Law Firm, and Buddha Bear, a natural bath and body care company that offers a wide variety of products, including body butter, bath bombs, soap bars, and sugar scrubs. I don't know why, but for some reason that becomes like like a tongue twister for me. But their stuff is really great anyway. Anyway, back to you. Um, so what do you see as the primary challenge that homeowners and multifamily property owners face in today's insurance market?
Honestly, premium. Premium is the biggest thing that we have. People come to us and they want the price. And again, we're not really, we don't sell on price. We're selling coverage. I'm very transparent, and I tell people up front. In fact, we're looking to implement minimum premiums in our office. We're trying to figure that out right now, because we kind of have to weed out who's shopping and who really wants advice and really wants our guidance and wants to hire us as their advisor. Coverage is number one for us, not price. Price might be important for the client until they have a loss. Then, what is price, right? Price is just a number that now they saved $500, but now they're out $100,000 and $200,000. So yeah, I mean, that's really, really, that's probably the number one factor. And again, price is driven by the market, the weather, you know, um, global events, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Supply chain shortages. It's happening across the board. A headlight
Yeah.
for a car is now $3,000. Crazy.
Crazy. It is crazy. It's just gone up so much in the
Oh,
last
beyond.
even 5 years.
Say again?
I said it's gone up so much in the last 5 years.
Oh yeah, it's beyond the realm. I mean, I was reading an article and they said that the average car in New York, the premium for a car with $300,000 liability, average is $3,800 for one vehicle, average in New York. And again, that takes into account Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island, the Bronx, and it also takes into account Westchester and Long Island. So, they're saying average. They're saying that if people, want to get these, the state minimums, $25,000 of insurance, the average I think is like 1,800. But in good, nobody can drive around with the state minimum.
No.
It's absolutely pitiful that the state hasn't mandated an increase.
All right. So looking ahead, what do you believe will be the most significant trends shaping the insurance market for homeowners, multifamily property owners, commercial people over the next few years? I mean, where do you see this heading?
I mean, I can see a lot of it going to the internet. To be honest with you, I could see a lot of people do this now. You can go online and get an instant quote. The problem is people don't really understand what they're buying. When you're online and you go to like a Lemonade or a Liberty Mutual, you know, and people do this all the time, and I think it's only going to get worse. For example, Liberty Mutual, name your own price tool. How dangerous is that, right? Okay, I don't want to pay a lot for insurance. Okay, so I'm going to give up coverage, but I don't really understand what I'm giving up. But now I have to sign my name stating that I understand it, but I don't because I have nobody to advise me properly. Now you have an issue where you saved a few dollars and now you're out a lot of money, but you named your own price. I see this unfortunately going in that direction. With the internet, with the young kids, the millennials, the Gen Zs, nobody wants to talk to anybody anymore. Everybody wants to do it through text. Everybody wants to do it online. Everybody wants the quickest thing.
Mhm.
And I think that's problematic. While it can be good and it can be quick in a pinch, I mean, if a human being is not around to answer your call, you can go online and you can bind an ID card, bind a Geico policy online, but I think that ultimately it's going to create a problem down the road for the individual, not for the insurance companies. They're going to be making money hand over fist because they're not going to have to pay out claims because their clients wanted to save money. So the clients saved money. In turn, they're not giving nearly as much coverage. I personally see that becoming more problematic as more carriers are now switching to, these online, portals or quoting systems, if you will.
Right. It's not a problem until it's a problem, until
It's not a
something
problem.
happens, right?
Right.
And then you're
Right.
like, oh my God, this is all they're paying me?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly it, right? And that's why you need somebody to give you advice. I wouldn't go to H&R Block to do my taxes. I wouldn't
Yeah.
do my taxes online. I wouldn't use TurboTax. I want somebody that I can ask questions to, somebody that can advise me, give me the right advice. And this way, if there's ever a problem, I can turn around and say, "Hey, look, help me here. You can't do it with a computer. You did it yourself. You know,
It's true. No, that's great. Great
it's
point.
shameful. It's shameful."
Yeah. So, Brian, tell our listeners how they can get in touch with you and learn more about Evolution Insurance Services.
Absolutely. So, we have a website. Can I say it? It's www.evo-ins.com. www.evo-ins.com. That's our website. You can get in touch with us that way. via email, via telephone. We're always available and we're very responsive, and we'd be happy to, review your insurance portfolios, whether it's for personal insurance or commercial insurance. There's no cost to do so. It would be our pleasure to, give you just a free portfolio analysis to make sure you have the proper coverages at a reasonable price.
Thank you so much, Brian. This was really informative.
You,
So I really appreciate you taking the time out to be on the show. I also want to thank our sponsors once more, the Russo Law Group, Long Island Signature Estate Planning Law Firm, Elder Law and Special Needs Law Firm. For more information, visit VJRussoLaw.com, and Buddha Bath, a natural bath and body care company. For more information, visit buddhabath.net. And last but not least, I want to thank you, our listeners, for tuning in each week. If you want more information on this show or any other show, visit our new website at hillarytopper.com, or you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Alexa, you name it, we're out there. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.